Hello and welcome to this week's Motion Composites sponsored educational event. The Motion Minute series consists of CECs, informal product-based webinars, to help create more confident, informed consumers in the mobility marketplace. Today's Motion Minute is on the Veloce, an introduction to the Veloce, one of our state-of-the-art manual wheelchairs. Our presenter today is Ali Spite, OT and clinical educator with Motion Composites. At the end of this presentation, an attendance certificate will be automatically generated and emailed out to you. If you're new to this platform, go to webinar, welcome. Just some quick housekeeping. On the right side of your desktop, you will find the control panel. Here you will have your microphone will remain muted, your webcam will remain off. But I would like to direct your attention to the handouts menu. When you click that, you'll be able to download this presentation in a PDF format, the brochure for the Veloce, and the order form. So those are nice, helpful documents Ali has prepared for you all. Also, if you have any questions during this presentation, you won't be raising your hand or going off mute. Just use the questions box and type in your question, and myself and one of the other moderators will answer those for you, or we'll interrupt and have Ali answer for everyone. So thank you all for being here today. We're really excited to share about the Veloce. Take it away, Ali.
Awesome. Thank you, Olivia. And hi, everyone. Thanks for attending today. And we will jump right in and get started with this. All right, so welcome to the Veloce. As it states right here, one of the lightest folding wheelchairs in the world. If you've been following Motion Composites for a while, the Veloce has been a part of our wheelchair lineup, but it did come out with a new release in 2018, I believe. So we will go over some of these new features, but highlighting what makes the Veloce the great wheelchair that it is. All right, so a welcome from Motion Composites. Here we have Eric and David, the co-founders of Motion Composites. And just to highlight to everyone, our mission with the company is to lead the evolution of mobility for better living. This is something that we wholeheartedly believe in at the company, and I think it is recognized throughout the products that we produce. A history of Motion Composites, if you're not familiar, we are located in Saint-Roch-de-l'Échigan in Quebec, Canada. It launched in 2008 after a very successful university project in 2005. Motion Composites was the first to come to the market with a folding carbon fiber wheelchair. In 2006, we went into the rigid market, launching the carbon fiber Apex. And at the moment, we are distributing in over 30 countries worldwide. We have received many industry accolades along the way, including multiple Harding Awards for innovative products at the Canadian Seating and Mobility Conference, including for the original Helio C1, the updated Helio C2 HD version, and of course here, that initial Veloce that we are going to be looking at today. So that was back in 2014. The Apex, that rigid model that I did speak to, has also won numerous awards, including that at CSMC as well, but also the Red Dot Design Award. So something that is not exclusive to the wheelchair industry, but design in all manufacturing and industry around the world. So including high-end vehicles, wheelchairs, other products that you may see, just see around you all the time as well. So an intro into our Veloce here, if our video is going to play, and of course it's not going to. I'll give it a minute here. We have a beautiful teaser marketing video here that highlights some of these beautiful features, and of course it works in the trial and not today. So we're going to move on. It highlights a lot of the features just in a very exquisite way that we will still cover them in the rest of the PowerPoint. Anyways, moving on. So what we're going to focus on today, looking into the Veloce, we're going to look into how it is engineered to be lightweight, but as well as have high strength. Looking into the components that gives this wheelchair the efficiency of a rigid and yet the convenience of a folding wheelchair. We'll look into the range of options and accessories that opens this wheelchair up to a variety of users. And we will mainly focus on this being a very one-of-a-kind wheelchair, but not a niche wheelchair. It is something that brings innovation to our wheelchair market, but it does not block us out of using this in a wide variety of clients that we see day to day. some key specifications. So just so we can get into our wheelchair frame of mind and we can start thinking about this chair for our clients that we use. The Veloce comes in sizing of 14 by 14 up to 20 by 20. Front seat to floor heights ranging from 14 inches up to 21 inches. Rear seat to floor heights from 13.5 up to 20.25 inches. It also gives us a variety and range of center of gravity, so up to 4 inches of center of gravity adjustability, and this is in 1/4 inch increments, so very detailed and precise for client setup, and has a weight capacity of 265 pounds with an HD option up to 350, and we'll go into more about how this is done in the wheelchair in a bit. It also has a variety of options and accessories. So this is one of those updates that was done in 2018, looking at increasing options and accessories, as well as these adjustments within the wheelchair to make it fit for a more wide range of clients. So Olivia is going to launch our first poll question that we have here for you today. So a little interaction with us, guys. What are some of the benefits of carbon fiber? So if you are familiar with carbon fiber within our industry, I want to know what you know about it. All right, well, looks like you guys are experts. So a lot of motion composites fans out there. So when looking at carbon fiber, a lot of the benefits are listed here, and therefore the correct answer was all of the above, with 94% of the people getting this. Perfect. So to go more specifically into carbon fiber, you guys were correct. It has a wide variety of things that make carbon fiber not only an amazing material, but specifically an amazing material for the wheelchair industry. It has a very high specific strength, which means it is very strong for the amount of material that you need. This means that it keeps it very lightweight. It has a very high strength to weight ratio as well. The amount of product you need to make it as strong as you need is very little. This also plays into its exceptional durability. The way carbon fiber is manufactured allows it to withstand a lot of the everyday beatings that wheelchairs go through, essentially. It does have vibration dampening qualities. So when we think of our clients spending every day in their wheelchair, the terrain that they're navigating day to day, if some of this material of carbon fiber can dampen these vibrations coming to our client, it can decrease issues such as fatigue, spasticity, chronic pain, things like this that we see in our clients daily. We do not weld carbon fiber. It is not a metal. This means that we are not encompassing any of the weak points that welding applies to a metal. So we're not looking at any issues that can come up from welding when we see it in other materials. It has low thermal expansion. Carbon fiber is not affected by the extreme heat or the extreme cold, and it is corrosion resistant. So when we're looking at the longevity of the material of the wheelchair, this is not a factor that comes into carbon fiber. Dispelling the weakness myth with carbon fiber is something that we like to do. There are a few myths out there against the durability of carbon fiber, and this is mostly because it's a material that it all depends on how you manufacture it. Motion Composites takes a lot of time and energy into manufacturing their carbon fiber so that it withstands and upholds with the population that we know are using these wheelchairs. So we have this beautiful video that, oh gosh, I hope it plays, showing you here, but we'll show, I'm going to rotate this Veloce. So you can now see the front end of the Veloce is the front end that this weight is now coming down on. That is a full carbon fiber tube to the front of the Veloce. And you can see this weight coming down at it's been slowed down for everyone, but at a high speed, showing the pressure that it causes on it, the flex that comes from the front end, but that it goes exactly back to the original position that it started at, right? This shows the strength and the maneuverability that carbon fiber can give our clients when that front end of the chair is hitting those obstacles in the environment. If the chair has this rebound and the material provides that, it makes it a lot smoother and durable for our clients. Why go into all this carbon fiber talk? The Veloce only comes in carbon fiber. It is the only wheelchair in our category of wheelchairs that is exclusively carbon fiber. And as we can see, a lot of benefits really do come from using this material. What does that mean though? The Veloce, as well as every other carbon fiber wheelchair within our lineup, comes with a lifetime warranty. We stand behind this carbon that we manufacture. So you can really tell a manufacturer's confidence in its product by the length of its warranty, and a true lifetime warranty on the frame of the original owner means we really do stand behind the manufacturing of this carbon fiber. Another thing that Motion Composites stands behind is the way that it manufactures their chairs, not just within their material. We aim for propulsion efficiency. When you think about your clients, unfortunately, only part of the energy applied towards the handrims is transformed into that forward movement that we're looking for mobility. Some of that energy is naturally lost within the wheelchair structure itself. So things that do steal that energy away are vibration, which we have taken a look at in terms of our carbon fiber material, but as well as movement and torsion within the frame and within the components that are holding this wheelchair together. Reducing these would actually make a folding wheelchair more efficient in its propulsion. And so that's what we're going to take a further look into, is how does the Veloce increase efficiency for our clients while still being a folding wheelchair? So we'll pop into poll question number 2. What type of frame is the Veloce? Is it a folding X frame, monotube, dual tube, or a hybrid? All right, so we have 52% coming in at our X frame, a few people thinking it's a monotube, and then 43 at our hybrid. So if we do look into it, trick question maybe, am I mean when it comes to it? I'll consider the Veloce a hybrid frame, and we actually call it a Mantis frame. It's because it has the cantilever front frame, or that you might see in a monotube rigid wheelchair, but it has a rear box frame. And this is really important for our adjustability, which we'll get into in a bit. And therefore we do call it a Mantis frame. It's a hybrid between a box frame as well as the monotube or cantilever frame from rigid wheelchairs. It does feature our symmetrical cross brace. This is what the box frame allows. It also allows us to attach this cross brace, which allows the folding of the wheelchair. And like I said, that box frame allows our axle plate to attach to allow for our full rear wheel adjustability. This frame is also WC19 crash tested. So all the engineering going into that to highlight these amazing things within the Veloce. I mentioned it before in terms of getting the frame up to the heavy duty capacity of 350 pounds. What we do to allow this is the same as our folding chairs, if you're familiar with that. We are going to switch out that symmetrical cross brace for the heavy duty version, as our extra large carbon fiber weave reinforces this cross brace and allows us to go up to that 350 pound weight capacity. We always want to make sure that we consider the weight we're adding to a chair when we go up to this 350 pounds. And so to let you guys know, it actually only adds 6 ounces, approximately 6 ounces, to the overall weight of your chair. This is truly heavy duty without the heavy. I want you guys to think about the rigid chairs that you're familiar with using, and sometimes it's harder to find chairs in this category that go up to 350 pounds for our clients. So although the Veloce is a folding hybrid rigid chair, it does have this heavy duty weight capacity. And so when we're looking for clients who may need that rigid chair, but we can't get the chair in their weight capacity, the Veloce has come in as a really great opportunity for this for our clients. Up to sizes of 20 by 20, heavy duty can start at some of the smaller sizes as well though. So really great feature here within the Veloce. More efficiency within it. So one of the things that really adds to the efficiency of the side frames, the efficiency of the wheelchair, is the side frames. When you take a look at a typical 2-piece side frame, or a typical side frame, it has 2 pieces that come together. These can be heavy, They have lots of hardware to attach these pieces, and that hardware over time can actually cause play within the frame, which decreases the efficiency. When we look into Motion Composites and the way that they manufacture their side frames into this one-piece unibody frame, I'm assuming this is why some people were saying that the Veloce is a monotube, and because we really, with the carbon fiber, make it into that one-piece side frame. And so this allows the rigidity with minimal hardware, which means over time, the chair is not going to change and have more play within the wheelchair, causing those inefficiencies. It's going to act even more like a rigid frame, even though it has the folding capability. The Crossbrace is another feature that allows increased efficiency within the Veloce. So a standard Crossbrace, I love the comparison side by side, guys. So a standard Crossbrace, if you haven't really looked into the details of your chair, is typically just straight tubes butted up against each other. And this isn't optimized for rigidity. It's going to allow some play within the frame because the weight is going to be distributed unevenly over these Crossbrace tubes. It causes torsion within the frame, additional movement within the frame as the client transverses their environment, which decreases the efficiency. Remember that first slide where we said movement or torsion is going to take away the forward trajectory we want from our client, the energy going into that. When we look at our symmetrical Crossbrace, it truly is symmetrical. The left and the right, the top and the bottom, they're going to line up with each other, which means that these forces are going to be distributed evenly over the Crossbrace. It's a very unique shape, patented through Motion Composites, and this is what increases the rigidity, although it is still a folding chair. The Crossbrace attachments, the way that a folding chair comes together, includes hardware. There's no way around it. And we can see a lot of inefficiencies in the typical hardware on a standard folding chair. So small axles, standard bolts, there's typically play within these as well, increasing movement, decreasing efficiency, and can also be very time consuming to change these out due to all of the hardware causing these inefficiencies and the extra weight in the first place. When we look at the folding mechanism through the Veloce or any Motion Composites folding wheelchair, you can see this axle bolt, the picture in the top right. It's actually oversized. You cannot pick this up at a general hardware store, but it's oversized and pressure fitted into the center of that cross brace we can see in the middle photo to allow for little play at this moment while allowing the folding. So it's a compromise with this piece of hardware here that allows us to fold while still keeping the efficiency. We have our locking seat saddles. So the Veloce seat frame fitting inside the side frames of the wheelchair, locking into these seat saddles with that nice fit, that nice tight fit, so that we have reduced movement. The other part is it's a quick cross brace replacement. If we are changing things within our client, changing width, anything like that, this cross brace you can see in the bottom right photo, it does essentially snap in and out with a few with the assistance of a few tools, but we're not looking at a bunch of hardware interfering with the side frames and taking apart a whole chair. Efficiency also comes from our rear axle plate. So a typical horizontal axle plate you can see in that bottom left photo, it's not only heavier because you've added an additional post to allow the axle plate to go horizontal, but it can produce limited adjustability. And also it can cause tension under the load. So you can see the way that these arrows are showing that if you put a wheel through that axle and that wheel starts flexing laterally, it's going to play within that axle plate. It's not going to prevent this movement. Whereas the photo on the right of a Motion Composites, our forged vertical axle plate, it attaches to the side frames as you see it here. No additional post was needed, and it still allows a full range and adjustability up and down, as well as your center of gravity fore and aft. But the vertical part of it, under that load, it's going to redistribute those forces directly to the frame instead of the axle plate having movement in play. So increase in our efficiency for the user as well. And because of that rear box frame on the Veloce, we are able to do this. That axle plate and that rear box frame on the Veloce is what allows adjustability as well. So now looking into how does the Veloce measure up in terms of customizing it for our clients. Up to 4 inches of center of gravity adjustability in 1/4 inch increments, very precise for our clients for finding that perfect balance of center of gravity, maneuverability, and safety. And you can see this arrow pointing to the rail that goes along the bottom. There's one along the top as well, really showing you the slots that they are supposed to fit into to make this adjustment very easy for the technicians, but as well as for the making sure we have it adjusted properly for our clients. For seat to floor height adjustability, we have a close-up here on that forged axle plate. Not only is there letters dictating the position that you have the axle plate going into, that you have the receiver going into on the axle plate, it is in 1/4 inch increments, and it's allowing those seat to floor height ranges of, remember, 13.5 to 20.25 inches of rear seat to floor height adjustability, all within the Veloce that you order. Some adjustability through the back canes on our Veloce as well. So lots of options. They're explained on the order form, great, but the adjustability from the back canes does come from the top, so allowing the adjustability that we need within the chair, but not compromising any of the stability within the back cane. So your options in terms of straight, you can have your fixed angle or your 8-degree bend, adjustable from 9 to 21 inches, and your angle adjustable back canes as well. Angle adjustability coming from the bottom of the back cane so that we get that good pelvic positioning, straight or your 8-degree bend as well. Also adjustable between that 9 and 21 inches in terms of back height. Your angle adjustability, you can have from 85 degrees to 110 degrees in your 5-degree increments. So again, thinking about the clientele that we can put in position properly within this chair at the moment of dispensing, but as well as they might have a change in needs in the future. The Veloce with its adjustability can really accommodate this. That seat sling, so we did talk about how it is a locking seat saddles for our seat sling, but the sling itself actually allows adjustability within the chair. So it's made from sailcloth, resistant to stretch, resistant to moisture absorption, which we all know is a key thing when it comes to this spot on the wheelchair. You can adjust for hammocking. So you can see this almost underflap on the seat sling there. If there is changes within the chair, within the seat sling over time, you can actually readjust it to take out some of that hammocking that can happen over time due to this built-in Velcro. So we're not worrying about the Velcro peeling off over time or wearing away. And just a point of measurement on the Veloce, when you do measure your seat widths, remembering on any of the folding chairs within Motion Composites, you do measure that seat width from the outside frame to the outside frame. We do not measure the seat sling itself because it fits snugly inside the frame. So the width that your cushion will take up, the width that your client can take up is actually from that outside frame to that outside frame, not the seat sling itself. Some of the enhancements of the Veloce and some of these features that can really make this the correct wheelchair for our clients is its options in footplate. So this is one of the enhancements that was made to allow the Veloce to be a great choice for a wider variety of clients. So we have 3 options in terms of the footplates of the Veloce. Option number 1 we have here on the top right photo is the standard 1-piece angle adjustable flip up footplate. What does that mean? You can see it is all angle adjustability for do we have our angle adjustability for the lower extremity positioning. It's going to be an auto folding footplate, which means the client transfers out of the chair.
Oh, yeah. Sorry, we lost sound pretty much at the beginning of this slide. Can you start over?
Can you hear me now?
Yes, we can hear you. It just cut out.
Oh, sorry about that, guys. Definitely interrupt if it happens again, Olivia. All right, so footplate options. One of the enhancements that we did to the Veloce was adding footplate options, realizing that this is going to increase the the customizations that we can do for our clients. So photo number 1 here on the top right is our one-piece angle adjustable flip-up foot plate. This is going to be standard on the order form. So the dial at the bottom of the foot plate, the client can turn that. The foot plate can then be flipped up to move out of the way for transfers, but as well as for folding of the chair. So this adds in the rigidity of the front end of the chair for our efficiency, but allows for the transfers and allows for the folding of the chair. So a great option with our clients with the angle adjustability for lower extremity positioning as well. Footplate options, aluminum or carbon fiber. Option number 2 is our one-piece auto-folding angle adjustable footplate. So breaking that down, we have the angle adjustability for our lower extremity positioning, but it's an auto-folding footplate, which means the client can transfer out of the chair. They're going to pull up on the handle on the seat sling, and this footplate will automatically fold with the chair. So we're not requiring the client any extra steps to fold their wheelchair, allowing rigidity in the front of the chair while still allowing the folding mechanism. This footplate does not move out of the way for transfers. So our clients would transfer in and out of this wheelchair just as if it was a truly rigid chair. The third option we do have, and I'm finding this is a very, not only unique, but you can think of the right person that would use these Newton angle adjustable separate foot plates. So just as in the rest of the Veloce, the front end comes down on the wheelchair, and instead of this one-piece foot plate, you can have separate angle adjustable foot plates. So what does this mean for our clients? Not only can they flip them up to be out of the way for their transfers, potentially if they need to flip them up to do a bit of foot propelling throughout their day, if their hands are being tied up for something, as well as still allowing the chair to be folded with ease by flipping these foot plates up out of the way. Common question we will get with this, what does this mean for the rigidity of the front end of the chair? It's not going to affect it drastically. Obviously, it will not be as rigid due to not having the rigid foot plate in the front, but the performance is still there to stand up to the Motion Composites brand. All of these foot plates coming in your options of aluminum and carbon fiber. The Newton angle adjustable foot plate can also come in composite if desired by the client. So thinking about this wide variety of foot plates with the Veloce, you can really see how it opens up our options. The front end as well. So thinking about how this wheelchair is prescribed and customized for our clients, it's really molded after the apex, if you're familiar with our rigid wheelchair. Your front frame options are 70 to 90 in 5-degree increments, and these are measured to the floor, just like a rigid frame. So this means despite the angles that you choose in the remainder of your chair in terms of seat slope or dump or back angles, all those things, your front frame angle will be measured true to the floor, which is great for prescriptions for our clients. The caster arm on the wheelchair is also molded after the apex, allowing a variety of caster sizes ranging from 3 to 6 inches. If you're familiar with the old Veloce, this is new as well. We now have a larger variety of casters for our clients, not only for a wider variety of seat to floor heights, but their preference with their caster selection. Integrated bubble level in the front, we can see the photo there, ensuring your perfect alignment of your casters, that 90 degrees to the ground to allow for that efficiency, decrease flutter within their propulsion. And then of course, that stylish bumper that's placed to protect areas of the frame that we really see our clients hitting day in and day out, going through doorways or tight spaces. So protecting the frame while allowing for some added style there. The color of that bumper can be selected by the client and can be replaced as it does take the wear and tear through time, can be easily replaced as well. Also on that front end, so not just considering the front end angle of it, but what else is added to this? The Veloce has this 3-piece integrated system that not only allows for some style within the frame and some customizations in terms of colors for the client, but it does have some clinical benefits to it as well. So this transfer grip piece on the top is going to allow a nice, safe, flat rubber grip for our clients to do repositioning, to assist with transfers if they're getting up into the chair from the floor. It's this nice secure spot for the client's hand to grip. We have a built-in frame protector. So on the inside of this front end, it's going to be a type of foam that's allowing, that's a lower extremity padding. We're allowing this type of foam on the inside that's going to protect where the client's legs may be hitting the inside of the frame. So you can have this nice tight angle in terms of the frame while still protecting the client's lower extremities. And then that built-in frame protector as well. So this red piece that we see at the front, color matching to the client's preference, but allowing this common part of the wheelchair that can be dinged or scraped within the environment during car transfers, things like that, not only protects the frame, but of course can be replaced over time as the client wishes, essentially making your chair as good as new in this spot. Options in terms of armrests. So just looking at these other features that open this chair up to a wide variety of clients, we have this full range of armrest options. So T-style or flip back. So just with this one lever, you can switch it from being a T-style to a flip back option for whatever your client's needs are. Desk length or full length arm pads, rubberized grips to assist with transfers or maneuvering through the wheelchair. And we do have lockout options for either being removable, we can lock it in terms of the T armrest or the flip back, but also lockout options for the height of the wheelchair as well. So that if we need this armrest to stay in this height, it cannot be played with by the client themselves or the staff without some maneuvering. Swing away tubular armrests are also an option with or without the arm pad, adding side guards in terms of composite or carbon fiber as needed throughout that as well. And then the back upholstery within our Veloce. So obviously being able to put a wide variety of aftermarket backs on the Veloce to meet your client's positioning needs, but there are two options that do come with the Veloce on the order form. So you can have your standard slip-on active. It is a mesh upholstery. So we have the photo here on the left that shows that breathable mesh in the front, the durable quality that comes with it, but then as well as the tension adjustable. You can see here this line drawing on the right showing the variety of tension adjustable straps within the back, and it will still be that mesh material on the front of the wheelchair as well. Sorry, of the back of the wheelchair as well, allowing options for your clients there. So hopefully this was a great intro overview to the Veloce, or a great refresher for some of our clients who know the Veloce or maybe aren't familiar with the new version of this Veloce. So just to recap on that, this is a wheelchair that gives you the efficiency of a rigid for what our clients need their wheelchair to do, and yet the convenience of a folding. We're no longer having to compromise with these two categories. This is the lightest adjustable folding wheelchair in its class. But do remember with that, it is a carbon fiber wheelchair only. Symmetrical crossbrace design, this improves our rigidity, it enhances our propulsion on top of the rest that we went over with this chair in terms of the construction, the engineering that goes into it. Yet it's still adjustable to meet the client's needs now, but as well as any future changing needs that they may have. You can really see how precise this chair can be for someone, and yet how it's going to be able to change with them if that is needed. And remember that lifetime warranty on this frame, that security for the lifetime the client has this wheelchair. We stand behind the frame of it and the construction and the engineering that does come into it. So I'll pop into Olivia to see if there's some good questions that came up that we can address to the group, or people can keep adding those questions as we go.
Well, it's pretty quiet in the question box right now. Guys, if you have any burning questions, please use the question box. It might even be listed as the chat box if you're on a different type of device. Type in your questions. We'd love to ask them on your behalf. And for those of you that want to refer to some of this information a little later, please go to that Handouts tab and download. It'll open up in a new browser. You can download the brochures, the order forms, and even this presentation in a PDF. Okay, we have a question from Pamela. Oh, sorry. We have a question from Pamela Daly. Does it come with fold down push handles?
You know what, Pamela? It does, and thank you for adding into that. So it doesn't come with it, but it is an option, just as it is with any of the wheelchairs through Motion Composites. So there is an option to add fold down push handles there. They are a Newton push handle, so manufactured by us.
Yes, for those of you that are not familiar with Newton, it is just a high performance parts and accessories division of Motion Composites. So it's still on the order form, it's still made by us, just really high performance parts. It's really great. Even those armrests that Ali was talking about, those T-arms, everything is tapered at the end. So when it slides into the chair, it's smooth, it's easy, your client isn't forcing it, and it stays secure. So really great product. If you haven't seen it in person, I hope you do soon. Any other questions? Okay, Pamela has another question. Let's see here. Does the auto flip up footplate make the folded width of the chair wider when the chair is folded up?
The auto footplate. That is a good question. I'm gonna say no. What's really gonna dictate the width of your chair when it's folded is the taper, which, do you know what, I didn't highlight within this. So your taper within the Veloce of that front end, you can have your straight down 1 inch on either side or 2 inches on either side. So if you can picture that V shape that a taper comes in for a rigid chair, you can understand that the more aggressive that taper is, that's going to impact the folding of your chair. And so what we do, if you go to the Veloce order form, you'll actually see when you select the width of your chair, you'll see the available tapers that it can come in. And we've actually X'd out some of them because if you can understand, if you have a really small width chair, so say that 14-inch taper, a 14-inch width chair, the more aggressive you go with your taper, it could potentially not really be much of a folding chair at all. So the order form is going to direct you to how specific it can be. But overall, it is a very narrow chair when folded, to the point that most people can, depending on your hand function, can grab the seat rails when it's folded and pick it up with that one hand. So depending on your strength, but the size when it's folded is very narrow.
Nicholas Forrester, our Canadian sales manager, he wanted to clarify that the taper on the Veloce comes at 0 or 1 inch. There's not 2 inch on this one.
So not 2 inch, due to probably the folding capability. Thank you, Nick.
Pamela would also like to know how to order, and can I meet with a rep for fitting to the chair?
Perfect. So we'll direct you, Pamela, to our website where you can locate a local sales rep or a dealer that is going to provide the Veloce to you for this. So our website has a tool there that you can do that, and we look forward to hearing how that goes.
Larry,
website being, I was just going to say the website, www.motioncomposites.com.
Excellent. Larry Tukis, he wanted to know if the quote can reflect an aluminum chair with a carbon fiber upgrade for the Veloce for funding purposes.
Olivia, do you have an answer for that one?
Yeah, it's going to be no. The Veloce only comes in carbon fiber, so it's not technically an aluminum chair with a carbon fiber upgrade. So the order form, like if you're in the US, it'll say a K5 chair. That is that base price for the frame. It's listed as is. It's not aluminum plus upgrade. Okay, Roy Efrath, I believe out in Israel. Hello, Roy, says, are you considering to add an option of a folding backrest to the Veloce model anytime soon? Same question regarding your other foldable models. Thank you.
Hi, Roy. Good to hear from you. It is something that we take the feedback on. It's definitely not the first time that I've heard it. Therefore, it means it has gone to our engineering team. It's something that we know other wheelchairs in the market do, and I know we are considering it, or at least putting it on the idea board, not only for the Veloce, but for our other folding chairs as well. I don't have a timeline or if it's a greenlit project, but I know it's something that we do here and we take into consideration.
Pamela also wanted to know, is it easy to get tune-ups?
So the Veloce is just as well as every other motion composites chair, very easy to adjust, as you can see through some of those features, but stands up to its adjustments over time. So if you're purchasing a motion composites chair from a dealer and the dealers themselves have the they would have the experience and the training on how to adjust these chairs. So of course, if you're if the user themselves is experienced with tools, there are of course things that they can do. If not, any local dealer or the dealer that you have procured your wheelchair from would be able to assist with these, no problem.
Excellent. All right, Marat wants to know, in terms of best practice, what tools work best to adjust rear seat to floor? Thanks.
In terms of best practice, the tools for adjusting seat to floor. Olivia, do you get it? Is Murat asking in terms of how to know what seat to floor height to have? Or the actual physical tools? Or Murat, do you want to?
I think maybe he's referring to the toolkit. Motion Composites has a toolkit that's available. So if you're a dealer, we can get that out to you. Your sales reps can get that to you. A therapist in a seating clinic, we'd love to supply that for you. And it has only the tools needed to adjust our chairs. So it just simplifies, you don't have to have a giant toolbox. Maz, one of our sales reps, clarifies a 5-inch Allen hex key.
Yeah, so thanks, Maz. So that's the adjustments in terms of being able to actually adjust the rear seat to floor height on that chair.
Excellent. So Pamela wanted to clarify, let's see, it's easy to get tune-ups. She meant parts. As far as adjusting things, if things were to loosen over time, there are actually tiny set screws. So it just kind of depends what you want to adjust. So let's say your armrests start to get a little loose over time. You don't like the feel of it. You want it to have that secure, efficient feeling that it had brand new. There are tiny set screws at the hardware where you can just tighten it up, and with just the right amount of tension, you could even make it a fixed armrest if you tightened it that far. So there are little ways that you can go in and give it a more polished feel again if the chair is getting a little older. Of course, if I know in the US, we have dealers that we work with. So whoever you buy your chair through, that local dealer has a team of people that they work with you after you buy a chair from them. So you can bring it into them, they can work on it. Your sales reps also, if you're in the clinic with the chair, your sales reps can come out and provide any support you might need. If you need replacement parts for anything, you can also contact Motion Composites, and we're happy to send out whatever you need. So when in doubt, reach out to us and we'll point you in the right direction depending on what your issue is. Oh, okay, sorry, we have clarification. So the 5-inch Allen hex key was actually for center of gravity. He's saying rear seat to floor, you can use a crescent wrench. So hopefully that's helpful, Murat. Any other questions, guys? Okay, so thank you so much, everyone, for tuning in today. Thank you, Ali, for a wonderful presentation. Really great in-depth content about the Veloce. You know, it's such a beautiful chair, but a lot of times people kind of shy away from it. Oh, maybe it's too fancy, but it's just a really great option. And work with your reps, and your dealers, and find out how you can get it for your client. It meets the clinical needs of so many people who are using high performance folding chairs, but they really wish they were in a rigid. This gives them that style of a rigid, but the convenience of a folder. Just like Ali said, it's tremendous. It's really great, and it really just, I think it really represents Motion Composites really well for what we do. So thank you again, everyone. Any final statements, Ali?
No, just thanks for everyone for joining in. Amazing questions. It always adds to any presentation to hear what's going on out there. And like we said, any follow-up questions, feel free to reach us at education@motioncomposites.com, as well as your local sales reps. If you are familiar with them, head to the website for more information, but as well as for a list of upcoming presentations that we have as well. So thanks very much, guys, and thanks for joining.
Thank you. Goodbye, everyone.